2023. You had so much to offer. You brought us games like Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2. Heck, it was almost as if you were a perfect year for us gamers. Keyword, almost. Yeah, true, 2023 brought us so much awesome stuff, but it also made some of the worst pieces of programming to ever exist. So sit back and relax as we go through the most pain-inducing journey any gamer can go through and see what were the absolute worst games to ever see the light of day during 2023. Number 10, Mortal Kombat 1. Switch version. Yeah, you actually thought. Now, first off, I want to talk about how great of a game Mortal Kombat 1 is. Like, it's so crispy. Like, this is probably one of the best graphic games that has, like, ever been made. But the Switch version. Like no one thought it was gonna be that bad. Assuming, like, Mortal Kombat 11 was, it was alright, but then we got this monstrosity on the Switch. Like who at Creative thought, like, yeah, this'll be a good idea. Like, it was so bad up to the point that the creator of Mortal Kombat wouldn't even talk about it just before it was released.
Series X and S. And
PC and Switch.
And is that a streaming version? How are we handling that on the Switch? What's the magic
we'll
going on?
We'll show you later.
All right, we'll show you later. Ed Boon.
That ain't Ed Boon smiling. That's Ed Boon dying. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have to say more. Look at what they did to my boy Smoke here. The guy's eyes. Those aren't eyes. Those are eyes of terror. Alright, number 9 is hands down Crime Boss Rockay City. Okay, now this is very controversial, in my opinion, since there are so many people who are like, yay, Crime Boss Rockay City, and so many people who are like, this was a terrible game. And I get it, some of the negative reviews could be due to the acting.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Gloves, your planner. I know the cops, the snitches, and the streets.
I mean, yeah, it is subpar, but, like, nothing too bad. I mean, it could be also that most of the dialogue is kind of cringy in this game. But, I think the reason why it got its score like it did on Metacritic was because of the gunplay. I mean, some people are just not a huge fan of this gunplay, and some people are. But then again, it just didn't feel right. It felt a little clunky for most players, at least. And that's why I'm putting it so low on the list. It's because not a lot of things went wrong in this game, per se. It's just preference at this point. Number 8, Hellboy, Web of Wire, or however you say it. Now we're getting to the bad stuff, which really begs the question if we're ever going to get a really good Hellboy game. As a game, it just seems unfinished with its clunky level design and its laggy battle mechanics. It just really feels repetitive in some sorts. Not to mention how annoyingly easy the game is. It's really sad too, since I am such a huge fan of this type of art design in some games, and it was just a big fumble in general. I mean, I am a decent fan of the Hellboy character. I remember Injustice 2 and how good he looked. I mean, this game, it could use a level up, you know? Even the levels, they just feel really repetitive sometimes, but you really gotta give it to the design team with Hellboy's, like, character design and mainly just how he looks. It really is incredible. Number 7. Loop 8, Summer of Gods. Now I can really start ranting about how annoying these bad games are without getting too controversial. This one was sort of easy to figure out where this would be on the list, mainly because of how boring the story is. I mean, RPGs are supposed to have a story. That's what's supposed to carry games. Games such as, like, Danganronpa and such. But here we get Loop 8, and it's basically like... And it's basically that exact same thing until your mouse or keyboard breaks, or until, if you're lucky, you question your own sanity for ever picking up this game. Number 6, Forspoken. It was almost as if the people who made the trailer and the devs who made the game got a good kick out of us actually hoping for this game to be good. And for those who bought this game and actually enjoy it, I don't know what to tell you. And for those who just bought it thinking that it was a good game, I feel so bad for you. You guys were robbed. I mean, the clunky gaming and the horrible dialogue just make this game seem so criminal to be $70. But I think the main reason why people hate this game so much is because the devs made it their mission to make the most unlikable protagonist possible. I mean, she literally swears like half the game. Like, half of her dialogue is just swearing. And no, I'm not saying that swearing defines a person as who they are. I'm just saying that, yeah, half of her dialogue is just saying the S word. I mean, but maybe, you know, a story just isn't the only thing that defines a game. Maybe the gameplay is better, right? Yeah, no, the gameplay is just as clunky and horrible as the story is. Oh my gosh, now we're on to this flaming piece of garbage. Now, don't get me wrong here, I'm a huge fan of Avatar Aang. And those people. I mean, this gameplay alone looks like it was pulled out of an iOS game. Sorry. I didn't even think that it was possible to screw up more than these games, and yet here we are, and these guys had Avatar Aang on their side, the icon of Nickelodeon. Number 4, Redfall. Now, where should I start with this game? The lame gunplay, the empty open world map, the dumbest AI a video game could ever have. Now, I get it, you might like the concept of like vampires and such, but trust me, if you like this game for even 1 second,
it's amazing. You are 100% wrong.
I feel like it's trying to be some sort of Borderlands knockoff, and the people at the company are just like, hey, how about we make this cool game about vampires and such and make it so much like Borderlands? Nah. No, let's not do that, and let's make this game 100 times worse with stupid AI that when you throw a rock at them, like a literal heavy rock, and they just won't move. Like, they just think that that's not you. Number 3, Skull Island, Rise of Kong. I feel I should state something super obvious here. If any of you guys know who King Kong is supposed to be this massive ape. He's not supposed to be some little tiny monkey like as we're seeing here. He's like a huge gorilla, you know? Well, just like previously, we don't need like accurate depictions to have a good game, right? Well, you're wrong in this case. The gameplay is much like an RPG. Like you just button mash is what is. It's pretty much all you do. The fighting is clunky, and I mean, just look at one of the bosses right here. That ain't the worm from the movie. That's the little snake coming out of Cecilia's hair in Monsters, Inc. And let's be honest, the visuals are horrible for a 2023 game. I mean, the devs kind of have an excuse since they only had a year to make this game, but no one has an excuse for a problem this big. But for this next game, no one has any excuse. Number 2, The Walking Dead Destinies. Now this one is just sad mainly because of how big of a fan of The Walking Dead I am. I really love the Telltale series, and I'm just a diehard fan of the show. And then we get this monstrosity with probably the worst cutscenes in gaming history. I truly wonder what they were aiming for with the cutscenes, though. Maybe they were trying to do some like silly comic book thing, like add some color, add some definition, do anything. Walking Dead is such a huge franchise, and they could have done anything with this game, except it's evidently shown that they didn't. Worst part about it, though, is that when it first got released, it was charged $70. I mean, come on, this game looks and plays like a PS2 game, and we're here in 2023 supposed to accept it as a 2023 game. And last but certainly least, we have, drumroll please, The Lord of the Rings Golem! Yeah, this game was absolutely atrocious in every way possible. I mean, this game is so boring. It's so boring. The three things this game offers besides walking is hiding, climbing, and bugs. This game was so trash that the devs had to fire the people who made the game. Well, that's pretty much it. If I left any games out, please feel free to comment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Man, I suck at outros. And boy, if this game doesn't get you to quit gaming after you first play it, I don't know what will.